one of the most frustrating thing about health and fitness journey is you going back to the square one or not seeing the results, or you showing up the same behavior again and again or getting the same result again and again. Now this is the most frustrating part. Now let me tell you, sometimes it is not what it actually looks like. There is change happening, but you are not able to see it. So let me explain 5 stages of change. You're going down the street, there is a pothole, you don't know there is a pothole, and you fall down. Number two, you're going down the street, you know there is a pothole, but you still fall down. Number three, you're going down the street, you see there is a pothole, you try to avoid the pothole, but you still fall down. Now, if you look at 1, 2, and 3, in all three, you fall down. But if you see the change, there is change happening. Number one, you didn't know there was a pothole. Number two, you knew it, you couldn't do anything, or you didn't do anything to avoid it. Number three, you tried, but you were still not able to do it. Now, that's the difference in number 1, 2, and 3. Now, let's go to chapter 4. You're going down the street, you know there is a pothole, you tried avoiding it, and you successfully avoided it. And that's chapter 4. Now, the result also is different, though the process is also different. And chapter number 5, you know there is a pothole on the street and you change your route. You don't go on the path where the problem is, so you change your environment. And that is what 5 chapters of change look like. Now, this may sound a little theoretical, but here is what happens. You may be trying to avoid a certain food, or you may be trying to change a certain behavior. You might not see the result. Now, you may not see the result if you are just moving from stage 1 to 2 and 2 to 3. But when you move from stage 3 to 4, you see the change in result. Now, that does not mean there is no change happening when you're moving from 1 to 2 and 2 to 3. There is change happening, and you need to recognize that there is change happening. That's the first lesson. Now, the lesson number 2 that you can take out of it is that once you're moving from 3 to 4 and 4 to 5, right? In 4 to 5, the results are same, but the way you're dealing with it is very, very different. Okay, so that's the second learning. Now, third, and the biggest learning out of this is going to be how you actually go through with this in real life. What will happen is now you move from 1 to 2, you move from 2 to 3, but there will be times you may be playing around or swinging around in 3, 4, 3, 4, 3, 4, 5. For example, you're trying to avoid, you may not be able to avoid today. You try to avoid tomorrow, you will avoid it. You try to avoid day after tomorrow, you may not be able to avoid it. But now you may be spending more time in 4 than in 3. So more time in 4 and 5 than in 3. More time in 5 than in 4 and 3. So this is how the change process works. This is how human brain and human behavior changes. It is messy. Okay, it's not a straight line. It's not that simple. So if you find yourself into this whirlwind of change and you're not able to comprehend what's happening, have a look at this and think about it.